Well, hello, welcome. That was a little bit of an abrupt stop. I apologize for that. I got a little happy and excited to get us started this evening. My name is Carrie Fowler, and I'm the Executive Director of Parent and Family Services at NC State. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We are so glad that you are here. If you have been on Facebook Live before, we're glad that you returned. We go Facebook Live with campus partners pretty regularly throughout the academic year and summer months to bring our families all the information they need, timely information from campus partners. And we have quite the lineup for you this evening. So I've got a few housekeeping pieces and then we're going to dive right in. So for those of you that don't know about Parent and Family Services, we are a resource office here for you, all of the families that are supporting our students. If you have a student coming in the fall, again, welcome and congratulations. If you have any questions at all now, in the future, 4 years from now, you can always reach out to us. Our helpline is listed right here on the screen. We have an email. Our website is in the bottom corner of the screen. And the best thing about Facebook Lives is that right in the comments, right below, right here, you can ask any question. And what we will do is we will do our very best to answer them live, but also give you the resources to the links and all the programs and everything that you're going to be hearing about in the comment section. And because we're on Facebook, you can pause this, save it, revisit it anytime you'd like. That is one of the perks of this avenue. So that's who we are. That's what we do here on Facebook Live. A couple important upcoming dates that I'd like to share with you all. We do have a webinar this Thursday, May 22nd, for we call it First in Family Welcome webinar. And this is for all of our incoming families of students who have identified as first generation college students. And so to learn more about what that is, we're going to drop a link in the chat. So if your student is the first in your family to go off to college, we want to tell you about all the resources and give you a special welcome into NC State and our community. So if you'd like, if you're available, it's at 6 o'clock on Thursday, and there's a registration link that's being dropped right below. New Student Family Orientation is going to kick off June 10th, and that is a big portion of tonight's session. So stay tuned right here, and you will hear all about New Student and Family Orientation. You're also going to hear about something called Wicked Problems Wolfpack Solutions, which is a course, a free course for your students. We're going to tell you more about that this evening as well. And then we want you to put a pin in August 14th through the 16th if you don't already know. That's move-in weekend. Pretty big weekend for your student and your family, so you'll want to make sure to get that on your calendar. One other kind of big announcement that we want to share for our new families that are here, we're launching a family book club called Prologue to the Pack, and it is specifically for first year families, so any parent or family member of students who are coming in the fall. And we're going to be exploring this book called You're on Your Own, but I'm here if you need me. And it's a transition book, and it'll help you prepare for all of the things for the year to come. So if you are interested in learning more, signing up, joining us, even if you can't be at all of the sessions, go ahead and scan that QR code and sign up, and we'll get more information out to you. Okay, that is pretty much everything that I have, and I've gone through it quickly, I know, and I apologize, but I really want to get you over into our panelists. We have four featured panelists this evening giving you critical information, everything essential for your students. Again, Wicked Problems, Wolfpack Solutions. We're going to be talking to Campus Enterprises. That's everything NC State Dining, Wolfpack One Card, Wolfpack Outfitters. PNC Bank, who is a sponsor of Parent and Family Services and will also be a part of New Student and Family Orientation. They are NC State's bank. And then, of course, New Student Programs for New Student and Family Orientation. So with that, we're going to dive right in, and I am going to toss it over to Kathleen.
Hi, thank you so much, Carrie. I appreciate it. I'm Kathleen Kramer. I work in Delta at NC State, which is the Technology Services Department that serves the campus. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about Wicked Problems Wolfpack Solutions. So NC State offers an optional and free 2 credit hour online course over the summer to all incoming first year and transfer students. So this course encourages students to really explore through multiple disciplines and meet faculty that work on campus at NC State and connect with fellow first year and transfer students. And this summer's course is titled Your Changing World. And this course will run 4 weeks during the summer and will focus on change in our natural environment and in the world. And students will receive more information about this in the weeks to come. So please ask them to stay tuned to their email where they can find more information about how to take this course. Again, it's offered June 23rd through July 25th. And the really great thing about it is that it's fully online. You can take it at your own pace. And students get 2 free credit hours just for taking the course that they can apply toward their transcript. So please also note that students will be automatically enrolled in this course, but they can opt out if they would like to, though we hope that they don't. And they will be able to view the course in Wolfware. So for more information, you can visit the website. It's wolfpacksolutions.ncsu.edu, and we're excited to meet them. Thank you, and I'll pass it over to Jennifer Gilmore.
Hey, good evening. Let's see if I can get my video working. There we are. Hi, good evening. My name is Jennifer Gilmore, and I work with Canvas Enterprises, which is the retail and hospitality division here at NC State. So we are looking forward to seeing you at orientation this summer, but we want to just go ahead and cover a couple of things to maybe relieve a little bit of that anxiety that you might have as you start to plan for the fall. So we'll start with NC State dining. And here on the screen are actual photos of food that we serve at NC State. I did not steal these photos off the internet. Your student is really in for a treat when they come to the NC State campus. We take great pride in the food that we serve, and we have lots of options across campus. So in fact, Carrie, is there any way to drop something in the chat for our participants, or should I go to Facebook? Because I actually have the updated dining guide that I can drop a link in when someone else is speaking. So
Yeah,
I
you
will.
want to go ahead and just share it in our chat here. Monica can drop
Yeah.
the link on the back end. We'll take care of that.
Yes, so I will do that after I'm presenting, but just so that you can go ahead and take a look at all the different options we have and where they are on campus. Your student will make decisions about where they eat based on where they live and where they study and who they're hanging out with. So it may take them a while to find their groove, but knowing all the different things that we have to offer will help them to try more things out faster. On the screen, you see dining.ncsu. You can keep going. That link will take you to our webpage, and you can also look there. Now, all of our first year students are required to be on a meal plan if they are living on campus. So if your student is not living on campus, there's no action they need to take to let us know. We will use the roster that comes to us from housing, and we will automatically enroll your student in the Flex 500 plan. And then if they want to get the Flex 800 plan, they can change to that plan in July. But basically, these two plans work very similarly in that your student has all-day access to our all-you-care-to-eat dining halls, which are Fountain, Clark, University Towers, and then Case at breakfast and lunch during the week. That means that they can go in and out and eat as much or as little as they like without having to worry about how many times they swiped in. They can sit all day and study if they want to and keep going up and getting a snack or a drink. Doesn't count against them at all. In addition, they get one dining hall takeout per day that they can use either at the dining halls or at one of our restaurants in Tally Student Union called One Earth. And they get a clamshell container. They can fill it with as much or as little as they like, and either take it with them for later, or sometimes if they know they are going to be studying late, they can do that. Or if they just want to eat in Tally without having to use their dining dollars, they can go to One Earth. Then they also get 2 guest meals that can be used at the dining hall. They can take they can take a friend who's visiting and use those guest meals. The third component, or I guess maybe the fourth component, is the dining dollars. Dining dollars are used at our restaurants, cafes, and markets. So We talked about on the screen Chick-fil-A or Sushi with Gusto, Port City Java, Starbucks. I mean, any of our restaurants, cafes, and markets, they can use their dining dollars, and they come with a 5% discount at the cash register. They can also be used in vending machines, so they don't have to keep up with change or use a credit card in our vending machines either. So as you can see, looking at the screen, the only difference between the Flex 500 and the Flex 800 is that you get one additional guest meal with the Flex 800, and you get 800 dining dollars instead of 500. I personally recommend starting with the Flex 500, but if you have a student who really would rather eat more in the retail restaurants and cafes, then the 800 will do. I also like to mention here, if I haven't confused you enough, but you can also use dining dollars in the dining halls, not for themselves because they get the unlimited, but if they ran out of guest meals and they wanted to treat you, they are accepted there as well. Now, we do have additional plans for transfer and returning students. Someday your student will be a returning student, so I do want to mention that don't have quite as much coverage because a lot of them live off campus. But if your student chooses to join a fraternity or a sorority that has a qualifying meal plan, they will be eligible to switch to one of the lower plans, okay? So they will get notice at that time, and there's opportunities to make those changes. Students on an athletic roster will also choose from athletic plans, and they will just need to consult their coach. All right, next slide. We take nutrition and wellness very seriously, and to that end, we have a registered dietitian. Her name is Lauren Smith, and she is available to consult with your student if they have special needs that they need help with. We do mark the 9 major food allergens plus vegan, vegetarian, and halal in all of our dining operations. You can see it on the screen, the digital screens, on our website. So if they're concerned about what's in their food, they have opportunities to get that information. If your student wants to connect with Lauren ahead of time, we do ask that they fill out this form. You can either use the Go link on the screen or use the QR code, but we will also be sharing this out via email and during orientation all summer long so that they can get help. So these are the deadlines for our plans. Fall meal plans are active on August 12th. The last day is December 12th. And then you see the dates here for those changes. If your student is happy with the plan that they selected in the fall and they want to keep the same plan for the spring, there is no additional action on their part. They will be automatically re-enrolled. If they want to change, they can do so beginning October 15th. Do note that dining dollars roll over from semester to semester, but they expire on May 8th, so they'll want to make sure to spend them all before that date. All right, moving on. The student ID, the Wolfpack One card, is your students' basically their access card to everything on campus. So they'll use it to get into events, they'll use it to get into their residence hall, and they will use it to swipe to get into the dining halls. And the number on the back is what they'll use to, actually they'll tap at our restaurants too, unless they want to order on Grubhub, and we'll tell you more about that later. But there are also a couple of accounts associated with the ID card. In addition to dining, there's an all-campus account that we'll tell you more about this summer. It's used to make purchases across campus, not just dining, but bookstore and some other places too. But it is important to put some money in there if your student is planning to use the on-campus printers. Again, we'll talk a lot about that this summer. The third thing is that they can link their ID to a PNC Bank account, and Jim is on the call and he'll tell you more about that in a few moments. I will say though, go ahead, your students should be getting emails about uploading their photo for their card. So have them check and make sure that they've done that by June 2nd so that the card will be ready for them to pick up when they come to campus this summer. Now, if for whatever reason they don't do it, we'll get it done, but it will just be one less thing that your student has to do at orientation. All right. Sorry about that, Carrie. She's trying to keep up with me and I keep backtracking. Okay, Wolfpack Outfitters is NC State's official bookstore. It's located in Tally Student Union, and it has pretty much everything Wolfpack. In fact, we are the largest retailer of NC State merchandise in the world. So not only can your student get their t-shirts and all that fun stuff, but we're going to talk more about the academic side, laptops and course materials. So next slide. Your student will need a good laptop at NC State, regardless of their major, especially if they are in engineering or, one of the sciences where they're running, more robust programs. I think Poole College of Management does too. So for that reason, you can go to that Go link that you see on the screen, and it will have all the majors and all the computer recommendations that they offer for your student's major. So be sure to pay attention to that. We will have them all in stock this summer. So if you're coming for orientation and you want to check them out, you can. We recommend Apple, Dell, or Lenovo because those are the brands that are supported by our on-campus OIT walk-in center. So if your student's ever having problems with their computer, they can literally just walk in. And if it's under manufacturer's warranty for any of those 3 brands, we are authorized to do that work. So you can shop with us, you can shop somewhere else and compare. Just know that we will always put a 3-year manufacturer's warranty built into the price of our machines. Just a little side story on that. My daughter just graduated from NC State in May, and she started out in exploratory studies. So she wasn't sure what computer she should get. She was still using her Mac that we had bought her in like 11th grade. So we didn't end up buying her a new computer until her junior year because she had coded into her program and we bought a computer that really matched what she needed. So, I just want to throw that out there too, in case there's any exploratory studies parents in the room. Okay, next slide. We have an exciting new program for our students that we started back in January to provide course materials at one low price. So it's not like the olden days where we all had textbooks. Our students are in a digital world where most of their course materials are delivered digitally through Moodle. And so a lot of the way that we're saving money for students is providing that. So there's a flat rate of $279 plus tax per semester, and it includes everything, all these access codes, all these digital materials. And if for some reason there are print materials, they will be automatically available for your student to pick up at Wolfpack Outfitters, the first week before classes start. So you can opt out. If you go in and you say, hey, my student looked at all of their course materials and it's not $279, your student can go in and opt out and then go and source those materials on their own. I will say that in our first semester of offering it, we had 68% of students stay in the program. So more to come on that. And now I'm going to turn it over to Jim Rodilla with PNC Bank.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jim Rodilla. I'm the local PNC Bank representative. PNC is the official bank of NC State University, and so you will see us on campus, and we'll hear in the next 3-4 minutes a whole bunch of information about who we are and what we can do for your student. So, Carrie, Yes, a cover slide, the typical student, a smiling young lady, but I'll let you move on to slide 2. All right, PNC, some of you may not have heard us. We've been in the Carolina market for about 12 or 14 years now. PNC stands for pretty nice company. Actually, that's just a joke. The legal letters have no meaning. Years ago, they just went to the individual characters, but we are the 6th largest bank in the United States. The map picture that you see here, the light purples or light orange states that you see is where we have retail branches. The dark purple is where we have corporate and institutional banking. So we are nationwide, but from a retail perspective, it's the light orange states that you see. So we're in most of the major markets in the United States. We have about 2,300 branches. We're actually in a building mode right now. We have 10 more coming in the Raleigh area in the next couple of years, and we're building about 20 over in the Charlotte area. But anyway, that's who we are. When it comes to ATMs, we have about 60,000 of them. 20,000 of them are in PNC branches. We're on campus and so forth. And then we have a partnership with a company called Allpoints. They put their ATMs in just about every convenience store that you find in the country. Walgreens, CVS's, Sheetz, Royal Farms, all the convenience stores and pharmacies. But that's who we are as a bank, if you haven't heard of us. And we do have over 100 branches in the Carolinas, and we have, like I said, one right in the Tally Student Union. The next slide. All right, as I mentioned, we're the campus bank. Your student doesn't have to bank with us, but we try to make it absolutely easy and as free as possible so that they come bank with us. You know, banking just has to work. And in fact, our corporate motto is brilliantly boring. We're like the lights, they just have to work. We like the heat and air conditioning, it just has to work, like the internet. And so there's nothing particularly glitzy about a bank account, but we've tried to amp it up a little bit and offer you something really good. So we have a student checking account, which I'll expand on in the next slide a little bit, but we do have the branch on campus. They walk right in, it's right next to the card office. It's a little mini branch, but we're staffed 5 days a week with live help to help you out. We do have 3 ATMs on campus, and then, of course, access to those other 60,000 nationwide. They can use our ATMs for free. They can deposit cash, withdraw cash, transfer money between accounts, you know, all the things that things can do. Now, account access. This is where we do something a little bit different. Your one card, where Mr. Wolf is there on the bottom, that card has lots of functionality on campus. Gets you into your dorm, gets your meal plans, you can do printing, all the things that are associated with the university, the things that Jennifer talked about a few moments ago. But I think about it as having one extra, for lack of a better phrase, an extra purse. You can link this ID card to your PNC bank account, and it acts like an ATM card. So if the student needs $5, $10, whatever, they can walk up to any ATM, put in the card, use their secret 4-digit PIN, and take money out. And so it's an extra access device. We know that students are sometimes low on cash. So on campus, we actually load our ATMs all the way down with $1 bills. So if they need to withdraw $1 or $2, they can actually do that. So that's the one card. Now, every checking account comes with a debit card. And so at NC State, because we're the official bank, we have that top image card there, the one with the red bell tower on it. That is a full function ATM card. And it does everything an ATM card does. You can shop online, you can use it at the ATM, you can buy airplane tickets, you can, shop at Amazon or whatever. So you actually have 2 access devices. One is a full function debit card. The other one is the Mr. Wolf ATM only. Now, in the old days, in my generation, we actually wrote checks. We call them checking accounts. If your student still wants paper checks, we can order them, but nobody ever does. They load their debit card into their phone, whether it's an Android or Apple device, Android Pay, Apple Pay. They use their physical plastic card. So all of those ways to access your account are really easy. If you bank as a parent someplace else, the number one question is, how do I get money from my account to my student's account? And we recommend using Zelle. Zelle is a person-to-person transfer service. There's no fee for the transfer and it's instantaneous. So if you bank at Wells Fargo or CQ or someplace like that, you can transfer your money over to your student's account. The minute you hit send, the money transfers from your bank into your student's account and there's no transfer fee whatsoever. So Zelle, and of course Venmo, Cash App, and all those other things work as well, but Zelle is our preferred product. Next slide, please. Now, the student checking account that we offer to your student, we call it Virtual Wallet. So it's built, it has 3 accounts built in one. There's a spending account for your everyday things, a reserve for routine expenses like your monthly cell phone bill, and then a savings account. The important thing to think about here is there's no fee for this account. It's no service charge, no minimums, anything like that. It's totally free for 6 years. So your student can get all the way through their bachelor's program. And if they decide to go on to grad school, it still remains free. If your student is older, let's say they're a transfer or a grad student, it stays free for 6 years from the day they sign up. So that's the service charge thing. Courtesy overdraft, it's almost pretty impossible to overdraft an account these days. Back in my generation when you had paper checks, you could do that. If you go to swipe something and nothing goes through, there's no overdraft fee. If there's no money in the account, we don't ding them with a fee. But if it somehow happens that they do get one, we waive it the first time through. Wire transfers are very unusual for domestic students, but international students use them a lot. So if your student is coming from another country and mom and dad back in that home country, be it France or Germany or India or whatever, if they're sending money to their student, we allow them to transfer that money on an international basis into their account free of charge. Again, our idea here is to make their time at NC State as easy and as simple as possible. So it's, and our hope is if we take good care of them while they're at NC State, when they graduate, they'll stick with us and we'll have a customer for a long time. Next slide. We think financial literacy is an important thing. So on our NC State website, if you go to pnc.com/NC State, you'll find a button for My Finance Academy. This is our online self-help place for financial wellness. You can learn about budgeting, investing, and savings. We have monthly webinars to go through that stuff, how to get a copy of your credit report and read it and be smarter about it. We send out newsletters, and of course, there's articles and vignettes. So I encourage you and your student to go to My Finance Academy and attend those webinars. They're about anywhere from a half hour to 45 minutes. The one on credit reports is so good, I think it's really important for adults to look at it. So go out there, register, it's free of charge. And even as a longtime banker, when I first saw it, I was learning stuff. So, and it's all free. You don't have to be a PNC customer to use it. There's no charge. And when you register, we will not spam you with email. This is just, we want to make your students smarter about money. So that is our financial education website. Next slide. This line of business, this student banking program that we have, is really critical to PNC. We are like any business. We're always looking for new clients. And to show our commitment to the higher education space, we're giving away 12 $10,000 scholarships. Now, there's 3 criteria to be eligible. On the drawing date, you have to be 18 years old. You've got to be a college student, and you've got to be a U.S. citizen or a green card holder. So if you scan this Enter to Win, there's no essay, there's no grade point average. It really is a sweepstakes. And again, we won't spam you to death. So you can scan this QR code. If you're not a QR code person, the web address is pnc.com/scholarship. You enter to win. Now, mechanically, the way it works, we pull 6 names on June 1st. So here it is, May 20th. If your student is already 18 years old, and they've committed to NC State, so they're a student, they're eligible, go ahead and register right now. If they're not 18 yet, if they're still 17, their registration will carry over, and we pull 6 more names randomly on December 1st. If you register now and you're not a winner, you automatically carry forward. So there's no need to re-register every 6 months. They try to making it as easy and painless as possible. But that's our $10,000 scholarship. It's our commitment to making life more affordable for parents because we know that paying for college is it's an expensive thing. So that is our scholarship program. Next slide. All right. Earlier, I was talking about the bank account side of things, our virtual wallet student checking. Lots of ways to get one of those. You can visit any PNC branch. You can go to pnc.com. You can go to pnc.com/NC State, or you can scan this QR code. The online ordering process is really straightforward. You put in your name, social security number, and you're all set to go. If you don't want to do it now, you want to research us, check us out online. I fully understand that people want to do a little homework. We will be at all the orientation sessions. You'll see us at the resource fairs and around campus. And of course, you can walk into our branch at any time. But we're here to make your life as easy and productive as possible while they're studying. So hopefully I'll live up to our tagline that can be brilliantly boring. And with that, I will conclude it and turn it over to the next presenter, which I think is Mike Coombs. Or nope. Yeah, I'll turn it over.
You're good, Jim. Yeah.
There you go. Thanks, Mike.
Appreciate you. Thanks, Jim. Welcome, everybody. My name is Michael Coombs. I serve as the Senior Director of New Student Programs at NC State, and I apologize. But I serve as the Senior Director of New Student Programs at NC State. So excited to talk with you for a few minutes about some things regarding your students' transition. And so I'm going to talk quickly about some things like our new student checklist, advising and course registration in the first semester, family orientation, so new student and family orientation, as well as our Wolfpack Welcome Weeks. Ultimately, our office is here as a resource. I know Carrie talked about this as well for parents and family services, but we're here as a resource to help you and your student be successful as they embark on their journey at NC State. So throughout their first year, their second year on campus, we're going to work with your student and share a lot of information to help them create a foundation for success. And as Carrie showed on the screen, so the first thing we're going to talk about is our new student checklist. There is a lot that needs to happen from the point you make a decision to come to NC State to when your student actually starts. And so we've created a new student checklist that essentially pulls together information from across campus and really kind of tries to provide an opportunity for you to look at things in manageable pieces so that hopefully it alleviates some stress and makes it a little bit clearer about what needs to happen, so what's required to happen, and what you may choose to do. So for instance, on our checklist, you can see it's required for students to, attend new student orientation. It's required for students to look at immunizations and health insurance. Some things you may choose to do, things like submitting AP scores, things like connecting with Disability Resources Office. So what we try to do is make sure that you understand what your student needs to do in order to start at NC State, but also some things that may be relevant and worthwhile for them to do, but may not pertain to every student. So you can see the website here on the slide. Two things to note. One, the new student checklist is available in two formats. So it's available publicly on our website, but it's also available for students in their WolfPaw account. So after a student confirms to NC State, their WolfPaw, so where they apply to the university, will switch over to an interactive checklist where they can actually keep track of what they're completing. So they can mark it off to show what they're doing so they can keep track of what they need to focus on and what they've already done. So as we think about what's happening after they decide to come to NC State, there's a lot of things going on with the checklist, but one of the biggest questions that students and families have is, when do I sign up for classes? What's happening with advising? What's happening with course enrollment? And so as we look at the next slide, I want to just spend a minute or two talking about advising and course registration as a new student going into their first semester at NC State. A couple of things just to note. One, academic advising will take place in late May, which is right now. So your student may or may not be getting communication from their academic college. So one of the things we're going to ask your student to do is check their NC State email regularly. Some of our academic partners may send information to their personal email. They may send it to their NC State email. So we want students to be checking both of those regularly so that they don't miss any information. And as you'll learn about NC State, we are a large institution, so each of our academic colleges does something a little bit differently. Our College of Engineering, with 1,800 incoming students, handles academic advising differently than our College of Design with 120 students coming into the class. And so the academic advising team within your student's college will outline for them what they need to do in order to get academic advising for the fall semester, right? And so they'll communicate in mid-May. Academic advising will take place in late May over the next couple of weeks. And then the actual course enrollment will take place in early June for incoming first year students so that they will actually sign up for their fall classes from the comfort of their own home or wherever they may be with an internet connection, whether it's a mobile device or a computer. But that will take place in early June for our first year students. And then for our transfer students, that's on a rolling basis, so they can actually take action now and not wait till early June. A couple of quick things just for everybody is you can see here what we see as a term advising hold. And so all of our students will have a term advising hold on their account that'll be in place that stops them from enrolling in fall semester classes. This is for everybody. It's completely common, no reason to worry or freak out. But after students go through the academic advising process, that term advising hold will be removed by the academic advisor or the academic college. It just ensures that students go through the academic advising process prior to enrolling in their fall courses so that we know that they are getting information from their college that's going to set them up for success with course enrollment. One of the things I would say as well, you can see our MyPack portal. There's essentially two systems that students use right now as incoming students. One is Wolfpaw, where they applied to the university, and one is MyPack portal, where you signed up for university housing, you paid your advanced enrollment deposit. That's also where you're going to register for your fall semester classes. And so understanding the difference between the two systems really does help as your student prepares for that fall course enrollment. Again, for incoming first year students, that will take place in early June. And for our transfer students, that's something they can take action on now. But please have your student be checking their email regularly to make sure that they're not missing any vital information from their academic college. One of the things I would say too is if you look at the website at the bottom of the screen, we do have some information from our college partners that just provides a quick overview of what the academic advising process looks like for your academic college. And so it breaks it down by College of Humanities and Social Sciences, College of Sciences, etc. So you can see, okay, what does the process look like? When am I going to be communicated with? And when am I going to register for my fall classes? Just to provide a little bit of context so you know what to expect from that process. But your academic advising team in your academic college will be the ones to give you the direct information about what you need to do to complete. And as I said, everybody does something a little bit different, but most of them will include some sort of online component like a module or something like that that students need to work through in order to complete that academic advising process. So obviously that's something students are required to do with the academic advising and course enrollment. One of the other things that students are required to do is participate in new student and family orientation. And so as we look at the next slide, excuse me, students are required to participate in new student and family orientation. Families are strongly encouraged to. Families, we are not going to require that you come join us on campus as much as we would love to. We're not going to require that, but it is strongly encouraged. You can hear from great partners like Jennifer with Campus Enterprises and Carrie with Parents and Family Services. We'll talk a little bit more in a second, but as you can see, online registration is now open. And so we are accepting registrations from our students and families for summer 2025. So we want you to go ahead and take action as quickly as possible because we do have some dates that are filling up. And so we want to obviously encourage you to do that sooner rather than later. One of the things I will say before we move on to is family orientation registration is directly tied to your student, meaning when your student goes in to register for their orientation session, they can add you as guests, as family members, as supporters to join them during their session. And so, Carrie, if you can jump to the next slide, you can see here some information, but our family orientation program runs concurrently with our student orientation program, meaning that you start at the same time and you end about the same time. Now, there are differences. Students and families will not spend the entire day and a half together for first years or day together for transfers, but some of the sessions are together. We want some of that information to be delivered when you are together so you can hear that and talk about that. but we also want to have some time with your student. We want to have some time with you separately so that we can have some different conversations than maybe we could have with students and families together. So a little bit about our orientation programs. We're really focused, as you can see here, on the ideas of connection, context, and confidence. So we want students to connect. We want you to connect to the institution, to peers, to their academic advising team, their academic college. We want to provide a lot of context for what it means to be a student or a family member at NC State. Whether you're a first time in college student and family, or whether you're a transfer student and family, NC State has a lot of processes that make it unique, has a lot of things that make it unique, history and traditions. So we want to share those as well. We want to talk about resources and opportunity that are available to you as a student or you as a family member. And obviously, we want to provide students with information that will hopefully build their confidence to take advantage of those opportunities and resources during their 4 years on campus for our first time in college, or 2 years on campus for our transfer students. A couple things about orientation, though. You can see here, sessions are college specific. So for instance, for our first year students, every student will have at least 4 sessions to choose from. For our transfer students, every student will have at least 2 sessions to choose from, but it will be when their academic college is coming here. So for instance, students in the College of Engineering will choose a session that the College of Engineering is participating in. And we do that so that you have time with your College of Engineering folks or whatever college you're coming into, that you have time with your academic advising team during that orientation session. As I said before, for first year students and families, orientation is a 1.5-day experience. Students spend the night. They're not required to, but we encourage it. They spend the night and then they come back for a day 2. That's about 4 hours until about 12:30. For our transfer students, they have a 1-day program that runs 8 to 5 on one of the Fridays throughout the summer. And then as you can see here, overnight housing is not included in the student fee, but we do have some great options online, whether it's staying on campus in a residence hall or staying in a local hotel. But we encourage families to participate because their participation is part of and included in our new student fee. So we have a first year student fee and a transfer student fee. Orientation for students and families is part of that fee. And so we want you to come, we want you to participate, we want you to learn about NC State, learn how we're going to support your students during their time here, but also learn how you can support them as well, and learn about some of the resources that we've shared about on this call already. One of the things I do want to point out, realizing we may have some international audience members, is if we have students on an F1 or J1 visa as an international students, they have a specific international orientation that they'll participate in, which is August 13th through the 15th. And so if there's any questions about that, you can see our website at the bottom of the screen. You can always contact us. A couple of things I would say. One being, if you cannot attend one of the sessions that you are assigned to or you're scheduling, you can always reach out to our office and we can tell you about some of the alternative options. We want to make sure that students and families are not stressing. And so please reach out to us and we can talk through what some of those alternative options may be. So new student and family orientation will take place in June and July. But luckily, once students come, they move in August, we have a lot going on. And so with Wolfpack Welcome Weeks happening, you can see some signature events here. We have 2 weeks of programming happening for students from the point where move-in starts through the first home football game on August 28th. We have, as you can see here, over 150, 200 events that are taking place, ranging in size from an 80,000 person street festival with Packapalooza to time with your academic units with our College Connections. New Student Convocation is a great opportunity for first year students to come together as the class of 2029 for really the only time outside of graduation. We also have a lot of smaller events with student organizations and university departments where you really have a smaller opportunity to kind of get to know people, learn about the organization or the unit, and learn how to get involved. Ultimately, our goal is to help you feel excited about the start of the new year, help you get connected to campus, and obviously get you around campus. There's lots of free t-shirts, lots of free food. So it's a great way to kick off the academic year and kind of build on that excitement as you get ready for your classes starting on Monday, August 18th. So there's a lot happening, not only over the summer, but also when you come to campus in August. And we hope that you're excited about that. And we'll be communicating with you a lot throughout the next few months as those opportunities arise. And so whether it's Wolfpack Welcome Weeks or whether it's some of our pre-semester programs like Wicked Problems that you heard about earlier, there's lots happening to help your transition to NC State, and we hope you take advantage of that. And if you have any questions as you're looking at things, please reach out to our office. We're happy to assist you in any way we can. And thank you very much for your time. And so, Carrie, I think I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Thanks, Michael. And thank you to all of our panelists. And yes, so now we're going to open it up to questions. Monica, what questions for our panelists do we have?
Yeah, so the first one is what if we chose the Flex 800 when we signed up for housing, would we be given that or the 500?
So can you repeat that?
Yeah, so it's what if we chose the Flex 800 when we signed up for housing, will we receive that or the 500?
So so they weren't supposed to be able to sign up for a meal plan when they did housing. I think there was a glitch. We have a brand new system and I will have to check. I think that portal's been closed. And I will have to find out what they're doing with that data. So I just found out on Sunday, somebody had written in about signing up. And so we are supposed to be auto-enrolling students. So I tell you what, the best answer for me to give you right now is when the portal opens up July 10th and when they get their first bill, look and see what you've been billed for. And if you were billed for the Flex 500, then you can go back into the system and upgrade to the Flex 800. And if it managed to come on through, then you're all set.
And the next question is related to computers on campus. So this parent is wondering if an iPad would be a good option or is it recommended to stick with a computer?
So an iPad is a great option for note-taking, but it is not a replacement for a computer. I would recommend that they still go ahead and get a computer, but a lot of students take an iPad with them for note-taking.
All right. And then the next question is if for summer orientation when the students will be staying on university housing, if that is including any fees or if there's any fees for them to stay on campus?
So there's no fees for students to spend the night on campus during orientation. They also don't have to pre-register for a spot. We assume that every student who's attending that session is staying, even though we realize some of them won't, because it's not required. But we hold spots for everybody. So all they have to do is show up to check in the morning of orientation. For our family members, it's not included. So I realize that's not part of the fee, but that's something you would want to take a look at if you're a family member attending. If you're not local, do you want to stay on campus in one of our residence halls or obviously a local hotel? That you would have to pre-register for ahead of time to stay on campus for a family. But for the students themselves, overnight housing is not something they need to register for, nor is it something they need to pay extra for. That's part of their student fee.
And I'll just piggyback on that for families. If you're looking at all of your options, as Michael said, you can certainly register in advance to stay on campus, or we have a VIP program where we partner with area local hotels and businesses that provide discounts to our NC State families. And we can drop a link to that VIP program to check out which properties are on there around NC State's campus. So that's just another option in terms of looking at accommodations for orientation.
And we do link to that from our website. So if you're going to learn more about family orientation, that is something you'll see on there as well, linked to Parents and Family Services.
And the next question is, what happens if I can't go to the available orientation sessions?
Yeah, I would just send us an email letting us know that you can't attend. Our email is new-students at ncsu.edu. We have alternative options that we can share with you. We hold some sessions specifically for students who couldn't attend in June and July. We don't publish those just because we want to make sure that we're hosting them or holding them for students who have that need. So please reach out to us and we'll communicate with you about what those options are.
And it looks like there's a parent asking about the number of participants for orientation. So they're wondering if they are able to add um, more than 3 people.
Mhm. Yeah, so if you want to reach out to us via email, like I just said, we can talk with you about what those options are. We typically can accommodate, especially if it's a younger sibling, something like that, we can accommodate. We try to cap it just because as much as our space on campus is amazing, which you'll get to see when you come in the summer, we do have limited larger spaces, and so we do try to limit that. But just email us and let us know what's going on, and we will try to work with you and accommodate you as much as possible.
Thank you. And then the next question is for Jim. So it looks like um, this parent is asking, how does a parent transfer money into their student's PNC checking account?
So if you're already a PNC customer, you can go into your online banking and use the transfer function there, or you can do it on your mobile device. Assuming that you bank at some other bank or credit union, uh, if all the major banks already use Zelle, so if you bank at Wells or Bank of America or Truist, you hit the menu button on your mobile device, Zelle will be there, and you just essentially text it. You're using your student's cell phone number because their phone number is attached to their bank account. If you're at CQ, you have to put the Zelle app on your phone, but the transfer functionality, you can use any of the person-to-person transfer applications. If you want to make a deposit at a branch, you can always stop by. I mean, there's lots of options, but the most common way is to use your phone and use your own online, or excuse me, your own mobile banking device and do it there, or go to your laptop and use your current bank's transfer functionality, and they'll have instructions on how to do it. But Zelle is incredibly easy. All you have to do is have the person's phone number in your directory, and you can move it over.
And then how many ATMs are on campus? Where can they find the location of each ATM?
Okay, that's easy. NC State has 2 campuses. They're side by side. You have the main campus, the traditional campus in Centennial. At the main campus, we have 2 ATMs located in the Tally Student Union. One is inside, right next to the branch, and the other one is outside. It's a 24-hour machine in between Tally and the Carmichael gymnasium. So you can get to that one 24 hours a day. Over on Centennial campus, we have an ATM in the Hunt Library. So there's 3 of them on campus. The use of cash since the pandemic has actually declined quite a bit. You'll find that most everything on campus is geared towards a cashless transaction. So for instance, the parking decks no longer take cash, and almost all the food service is cashless. But if you do need cash, we have the 3. And then of course, any PNC ATM branch, anywhere in the system. The easy way, I always use Google, PNC near me. But if you go to pnc.com, we have a locator function there as well. You just put in your location or zip code and it'll point you to the easiest. But I think most folks are just, we're so used to using Google to find stuff. That's probably the quickest and easy way.
The next question is, can parents directly wire transfer college fees?
So I think Jennifer's probably more in order to do this. The wire. So if you take money from a PNC account, they have an e-check functionality where they can pay their bill. But if you want to wire it from some other bank, some other country, I will let Jennifer is probably more astute on how to pay your tuitions and your fees.
So Michael might have a better answer for me. I have been in I do not know. I know that for me, I went in and it asks you to put in where the money's going to come from. And I put in my bank account number and then I label it college account, and it goes and it pulls money from there. But if it's something that has to do with international transfers, I am not skilled at that topic. Michael, do you?
I would recommend what Jim just said and
Mhm.
Google it. To be perfectly blunt, I know there's a few different methods. I know there's a few different kind of restrictions, but if you Google NCSU bill pay, the first link that comes up for me has a breakdown of the different methods that you can use to pay tuition and fees. So that would be what I would recommend because there's obviously electronic funds transfer, there's 529 college savings plans, there's a lot
Yeah.
of different ways, military and veterans benefits. So I would Google it and take a look at that website. And if not, or if you have questions, reach out to the Student Services Center, NCSU Student Services Center, maybe for a little bit more information
Yeah.
based on your
I,
specific
I
situation.
deal with a lot of students internationally, and what I find they do is they wire their money to their PNC bank account, and then in the MyPack portal, in the bill, there's a bill pay functionality, and it is essentially the process Jennifer said. They put in their bank account information, and it creates an electronic check and pulls the money from the bank account and pays the tuition. But Mike's advice, go to there. There's lots of options. If you're military, if you're out of the country, there'll be plenty of choices there.
And then the last question is, what kind of events does NC State Dining host each year?
Oh, we host a ton of events. And if you go to dining.ncsu.edu, there's an event calendar at the bottom that we're beginning to populate. But the very first event in the fall is the All Carolinas Meal, and it is an outdoor event with music and just all sorts of delicious foods that have been sourced from North Carolina. We host a lot of cultural theme meals. We partner with different campus groups so that when we do those types of meals, they are as authentic as they possibly can be. And if you're not already, follow NC State Dining on Instagram and Wolfpack Outfitters too. We have a really great social teams, and they'll make sure that your student knows what events are coming up, and they will also you can also scroll back and see photos and videos from some of our previous events.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Monica, for hosting that Q&A for us. And if you're just joining us and you want to kind of save this and then go back, if hear the questions, the answers, or if there's something that you're still curious about, we'll be continuing to monitor that chat for the next day or so. But you can always email us. That's why we're here. So you can reach out to any of us, but the Parents Helpline will get you to where you need to be. A couple reminders as we wrap up. Some reminders from what you've already heard, right? So orientation begins June 10th. We've got that Wicked Problems Wolfpack Solutions course that's going to start on June 23rd. We've got fall move-in on here. Our first in the family reception, which is a welcome reception. Earlier I talked about the webinar that's this Thursday, but we host a reception during move-in weekend for our first generation families. That's going to be on August 15th. Join us for that webinar to learn more. First day of classes is August 18th. And then a new date you haven't heard about yet is August 27th when we launch Parent and Family Weekend registration. So go ahead and mark your calendars. Parent Family Weekend is October this year, October 3rd through the 5th, and more to come on our website. So with that, I just want to express my gratitude to our featured panelists this evening. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your expertise and your insight and for sharing all this information with our families, especially those that are new to NC State. We know that this can be an overwhelming time. There's lots of information, and we really want to make sure you're getting the information you need when you need it. And so that's why we come to you right now. And as many of our panelists have said this evening, it is critical that your student check their email, their NC State email. So if you have no other takeaway from this, please make sure your student is checking their NC State email. And we hope to see you at New Student Orientation. Go Pack.